Hi, folks. Did you see Lilani was arrested? Oh, I can see you're just talking about it. Trixie's there. Hi, Trixie. How are you? I have faith that she'll be found competent. She knew exactly what she was doing and what she did. I think if Laurie is found competent in Idaho, there's no reason why Sarah won't. Is my music very loud? I turned it down a small bit. Hi, Amanda. How are you? As I very much hope this means she sent the LEO on a wild goose chase and that there never was any truth to anything she said. That could very well be the case, Raz. Like, as in no truth in anything what she said. However, they had a probable cause search warrant before she said anything. There's a reason why they were there at that house. We just don't know yet. I have a few things for you. I'll just pull up the article there actually from. I think that's a bit loud, alright, is it? Take it down a tad. But court dates push back for Sarah, woman accused of hiding the death of missing boy Michael Vaughan. An Idaho woman accused of hiding the death of missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughan has been found unfit to continue with court proceedings and has been committed to the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. So I think all court now is paused until the 23rd of December, I believe. Beautiful day in Florida. You're all on about 4 or 5 p.m., are you? It's 10 p.m. where I am. Oh, Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving for you, isn't it, at the end of the week? We don't have that at all. Just glad it's in Idaho. She'll only sit in hospital till she's declared fit to stand. Yeah, they'll get her declared fit, I think. Like, exactly like Laurie Vallow. But it could mean a few delays. Like, how long is that Laurie Vallow? Like, she was found incompetent, and that seems to be dragging on a while. I want to play. I do have a little slideshow for you tonight, but 50% of it is kind of related, but a bit of a break as well. And I know you all love history, so there's a tad of that in there. I seen the backyard as well. As far as I know, I don't think they touched the shed there yet, but everything else is. It's a long process. They're literally taking everything out of there. So yeah, the new status conference is the 23rd or the 12th. Officials will work to restore Wanda's mental competency before her next status conference, now set for December 23rd. I'm wondering as well, guys, with the it kind of was in their updates all along. But recently, the last few updates from Fruitland, anyone with information, contact us. No, they're saying. And I just wonder, are they talking to individuals in that? Whereas before it might have been, we don't know anyone, whereas now it might be directed at one or two people who might have knowledge, say. I watched a lot of the old material she posted going back a few years. She definitely wasn't of sound mind. I have one clip here I might play for you. I'll just pause my piano. A few of you have probably seen this clip. It's from her TikTok. It's 2 TikToks. There was a handful of people email me as well because I've never shied away from anything on this channel when it comes to this case. You can go back through the playlist, you'll see all that. But they're saying, and I don't believe it, that is someone talking to is Michael basically alive in the background of these TikToks? I don't believe that to be true at all. I think people are just hearing kind of what they want to hear. It's kind of like spirit boxes when someone tells you that a word is there, then your brain is looking to find that word. And people are saying that in the reflection of our glasses, they can see something. I've zoomed in. The pixels aren't there. They just aren't there to be able to see something. But I just want to show it you because I want to focus on what she's saying and her words. And where is she?
Based off my own life and my own knowledge of that life, I deserve to go to hell. I deserve to rot there. But I'm not going to. Because my Savior has proven to me unquestionably through my life and through His Word that I am saved by His Son. Because I don't deserve that at all. People always ask why a loving God would let murder and hate and horrible things happen to you. Well, here's the thing. First of all, it's kind of our own fault. We sin. But anyway, God lets those things happen to us because He gave us free will. And because sin is rampant, because we chose to sin, there's also a curse with that, right? But also, other people's sins affect you, and my sin affects other people. Because sin is ugly, and it's messy, and it doesn't stay in its own pile of sin. It splatters out like blood.
What do you think of that? I know, guys. She has Lilani was arrested. They haven't found poor little Quentin yet, though. I wonder, was she being picked up a bit sooner if it wasn't for some of the things that were going on down there? I definitely think though, Sarah, I think that will run its course. I think they'll do what they did with Laurie. They'll get her evaluated by the best they have. They'll get all their paperwork in order. And she'll be found competent to stand trial. But it could mean significant delays. Hi, Brandy. I can imagine. Yeah. I'm not going to stay too much on Sarah here now because I don't want to beat the drum. The update kind of is the update, and I do have some other slides here, Brandy, at the end of in the middle of this that is related to yourself and related to Monkey, but might be a little bit of a welcome break from the stuff we're talking about on these streams about your boy for the past week or two. It is Amanda, isn't it? Very interesting choice of words. And you can see that religion theme being pulled constantly. When we looked at that first kind of slideshow we had in her and the taxis and the GoFundMe, and it's all very strange, but I don't think it's so far out there that someone's not going to be found fit to stand trial. Again, look at Laurie, same state, same stuff going on there. It is sick, isn't it? Just the words that she's using and the context we kind of know, maybe possibly have. So I'm not sure now what I have in. It's just a few screenshots. An Idaho woman accused of hiding the death of missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughan has been found unfit to continue with court proceedings and has been committed to the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. Oh, and I'm going straight into the other one there now. There was one other thing I wanted. What was that? It's gone. It's gone out of my head, and it was in relation to that. Oh, the website, guys. Jesus. All the emails coming in. I have some of them done. I still have about another. They just flooded in. About 60 or 70 to go. Come from all over the world. They're coming in. We've updated the help page as well because, and thanks so much. It's so appreciated. The first Amazon wish list that we had up there, that has all been cleared, and I think there's a second one now, just the kids' Christmas wish list. That's up there now. You'll find it all under the website. But I just couldn't believe it during the week. There was the Take Me a Meal calendar completely full, and the Amazon wish list as well. Someone went in and just took care of everything. It's amazing. That the messages of support, the prayers that are coming through is just incredible. Thanks so much. Using religion, that's what it is, isn't it? Hi, Tracker. I just went through the brief update there in the first, how long am I on? 13 minutes, 10 minutes? But I just have some small stuff here now, a bit of a distraction. Not that you can get much distraction, but it's kind of related. You'll see there now. Pennsylvania, nice. It was brilliant, Brandy, isn't it? It's amazing to see. Right, I'm going to get in. I don't know, people are probably just coming in and stuff, but I'll try and keep this. I won't be going 2 hours or anything. So I always go on about, in a few live streams in the past, when we just might, a small little thing, we might talk about a little bit of history, and people go mad for it. You love it. So I just want to do a little bit. But again, it's related. No cheating here now. No Google. The names Vaughan and Neil. Where did they come from? I think you can probably guess. I'll start with Vaughan. The surname Vaughan is derived from the Welsh words, I'm not even going to try and say them, which all mean small or little. And I'll share all these links as well in this little slideshow I have at the end. So going through the history of Vaughan, Wales, and Ireland. So I think they came over here in the 1800s, realised they made a terrible mistake because we had a famine, and then a lot of the Vaughans stayed, a lot of them emigrated as well. And you can see here, migration of the Vaughan family to Ireland, and the Vaughan migration to the United States. So see, we have on the website, you can see there's a help page, a holiday help. Wait there now, I'll actually get it and I'll pin it in the chat. 2 seconds. Be 2 seconds there now, I should have done that beforehand. I have some interesting things for you here in this little history. Things that might surprise you. I just got into the stream there now on YouTube, and this stream already 10 minutes in has been flagged to YouTube. This used to happen all the time before on Monkey's stream. It's just a joke. It's all coming from the same little group of people. Imagine going in and reporting a stream of people trying to make a website to find a little boy. So please give this a thumbs up, because no one's going to see it now for 2 days. Just a bunch of weirdos, like.
Build your brand.
Right, that's me opening up my own YouTube. Right, I have that pin there now at the top of the chat. You should be able to see it. Oh, I've loads more if you Randy here. I'm going to give out to you here in a second for your surname. You took the soup. You took the soup. I'm not sure if you know what that means, but I'll explain it. Right. So then we have the Vaughans going to the United States in the 1800s, early 19s. A lot of the Vaughans that came from over from Ireland would have been in the 1840s, 1850s, around the time of the famine. Does anyone know where Neil comes from? The original name of Neil. Oh, thanks for that, Trixie. That's the direct link, is it? I think it's the same link that's on the side as well, but that link that Trixie's putting in will bring you straight in. I'm going to talk about the famine. I am, yeah. Oh, look at Aaron O'Neill's. Wait, you're cheating now. Well, I'm jumping ahead. So here's the Neil history. Neil comes from O'Neill. It was anglicised. There's a few reasons why that can happen, why the names change. It would be sometimes it would happen within the country itself, especially with the O. I'll show you things here now on the O. So any O'Neill, O'Mahony, O'Shaughnessy, O'Sullivan. If you notice, a lot of those names over in the States will have the O dropped. And there could be a few reasons for that. One reason could be when the Irish were starving and dying, there was soup kitchens set up. And as part of, if you wanted to go, it was the English that were doing this. If you wanted to go and get some food or try to save your kids that are dying, you would have to change your name and you'd have to drop anything Irish related to it. A lot of people changed their names themselves when they went out of Ireland because the Irish were looked down on, so they're trying to hide it a little bit. Like you all know the famous signs: no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. And O'Neill is mainly up in the north of Ireland. That's where that comes from. And you can see here it goes down through the spellings and then the migration to the United States. And this would have come in again at the famine time. So it's very, very likely that Brandy and Tyler can trace their ancestors back to leaving Ireland in the 1840s. You went a good bit over, Brandy. You went far west. That must be all the need for speed and stuff. And I was laughing the other day because was it in a chat you said your sister you didn't eat anything in a few days and your sister cooked some beef stew. I was like, that's the Irish in her there now. So around this time, when everyone was leaving and all the soup kitchens were set up, like there was over 1 million died, another 2 million had to leave. And this is the phrase that we use over here. It's called taking the soup. So you'd be kind of looked down on if you took the soup. And that's in our DNA there now. Like, a lot of people are stubborn about that. How many times do you see in my comments where someone will say, "You're from UK," and I'll jump back at them straight away. Like, we did a lot for that not to happen. But this guy here, Kieran Riley, not O'Reilly, Kieran Riley, that becomes important here now at the end. This is an article he wrote about it, just being like, where does it come from? And he talks about it down there. He was like, today the taunt "they took the soup" is used, excuse me, in a number of ways, but usually to denounce those who go against traditional orthodoxy. I don't know, traditional ways. It's sometimes said that the lack of an O in someone's surname suggests that their forebears took the soup. So, Brandy, I know you love your food, but I think you might have taken the soup back in the day. But there was lots of reasons that people would take the soup. It was like, lads, even calling it a famine isn't necessarily true. There was more food produced in Ireland at the time of the famine than there was like in the years before and after it. It was just one crop, and all the food that was being produced was being sent over to England, sent over to the British Empire to feed them. And they wanted rid of us, so they were happy about all this. They were like, grand, get rid of them. It was used as a land grab, so if you wanted to go and get some soup, you would have to give up your land. You'd have to give it to the English. There was many landlords who wanted rid of the tenants that were on their land. So what they did was bought them tickets on these coffin ships to travel over to America. So they're like, yeah, you're dying, you're starving, here's a ticket, get out, I want your land. And thousands of people didn't make it. They're called coffin ships for a reason. And I found 2 good articles that kind of just explain it a small bit. The Irish Blade of Famine is not simply a natural disaster, it was a product of social causes under British rule. Irish Catholics were prohibited from entering the professions to even gain purchasing land. Instead, they rented small plots from the land, and absentee British Protestant landowners. Half of all land holdings were less than 5 acres. And I have this in the little slideshow as well for you. And this is from the Washington Post. I also got a good one in the New York Times, but I don't have membership, so it just popped up for 2 seconds and then it blocked it. But it's good to see people writing about this stuff, because a lot of people don't know, and it just gets like, they don't teach this over in England. Their kids don't know this. But this person wrote into the paper because someone said, oh, the famine wasn't a genocide. And they were like, hang on a second, kind of was. And they go through the records here and they show that we were actually producing more food at the time of the famine than we were on either side of it. It was just all being taken out of the country. They knew what was going on. They wanted the Irish to starve, to die. So that's how the Neils and the Vaughans and many other of your ancestors ended up over in the States. I'd like to see it, actually, SS. I'd like to see, like, is it... I assume it goes state by state, that there's no universal kind of history course that covers every state. But over in England, the UK, it's shocking. And they have no idea why the Irish might get insulted when people call us English. But that was the famine. That was why the O in a lot of surnames, like O'Neill, disappeared. They took the soup. Does anyone know what this is? It's nice, isn't it? So this is actually not far from where I filmed the video for my second channel that I didn't release yet. So it's called Kindred Spirits. So it is a large stainless steel outdoor sculpture in Middleton, County Cork. It commemorates the 1847 donation by the Native American Choctaw people to the Irish famine relief. So when every other country was turning their back, and when the English were trying to starve us out, this poor old native Indian tribe who barely had anything themselves scraped together what they had to try and to send her over here. Like, what was it? I should say it here how much it was. It could have been as high as $20,000 in 2015 dollars. What was it? $178 they sent over. And we never forgot. So that's why that sound there is because of that. It's well known. But what I want to do now is show you a news clip from, I think it's maybe a year ago. It would have been around COVID. And there was a GoFundMe set up by one of these tribes for COVID relief. Do you know what? I'm just going to play the clip.
It's a bond between two communities formed in a time of deep crisis, commemorated with this sculpture. In 1847, at the height of the famine here, the Choctaw Nation of Native Americans gathered what money they could and sent it across the Atlantic to help those suffering. 170 years on, that goodwill is now being reciprocated. A fundraiser for Navajo and Hopi Native American families has seen donations from Ireland pouring in. The US organisers initially perplexed.
We noticed a flux of donations from Ireland, and our leadership team was like, what's going on? And so we started looking into it, and we started reading the comments about the history between the Choctaw Nation and Ireland. And we were so fascinated, and we just thought it was so beautiful.
One of those who has contributed is a Native American living in Galway.
I think it's amazing to see that the Irish are helping Native American tribes the way that the Native American tribes helped the Irish during the famine. It's just awesome to see it.
The money raised is being spent on vital supplies for a community that knows all too well about suffering. Native Americans saying Ireland's generosity this time around has made the connection between the two stronger.
With the bond between two peoples who had been dispossessed, that had started in 1847, so long ago, is continuing out in the world today, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
Across the Atlantic and across generations, the goodwill continues. Connor Hunt, RTE News.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? So they didn't know what was going on. They just seen donations flooding in from the Irish people, and then they realised it all traced back to this. Oh, I have to jump in a slide ahead. Thanks, Wondra. There's a few members' videos there as well. I must see, guys. Can I let me just check. Can I gift some? I've seen people do that on streams lately, but I didn't have the option. Oh, I think I have it. I don't think this works on mobiles, but if you're watching on a PC, make sure you get a pop-up to allow gifts. I'm not sharing my screen here. Hopefully I'm not. So just click on allow gifts, and I think it will go to 5 people there now. Whoever, I think it might be the 5 whoever interacted. Oh, Diane, nice one. I'm glad you got one. Oh, so you can see it there. Just they were swallowed up fast. So you'll see there, guys, there's a membership tab and members only videos, and you've all the little emojis and badges and stuff there as well. That's cool, isn't it? Where you can do that. I think it just stays on for a month, and then if you want to keep it going, you just need to sign up yourself. Isn't it incredible to receive? Yeah, people, you don't forget that sort of thing, really. Sure, you don't. I think you might know one of these. I'm not sure if you'll know the guy on the left, even though his name is there. But I'm still on 1840 now. We're still all around the same time. We have the O'Neills and the Vaughans fleeing. The O'Neills are taking the soup and dropping their roll. And then we have these 2 guys who are meeting up and are really good friends. Does anyone know who they are? This isn't the great part. It's kind of a sad part, really. It's just very disappointing. But again, it's something that's in history that I don't think people know about. So the guy on the left is the patron saint of Cork, Father Mathew. The guy on the right is Frederick Douglass. Booker T. Washington, no. There is some people actually, going back to O'Neill, there is some people who just took the name. Like Shaquille O'Neal. He's not just like the name. He took it, as far as I know. But Father Mathew is patron saint of Cork, down in the south of Ireland. His big shtick was getting people off the booze. So even today, you go in, I think you're 12 or 13, you take like a pledge. You pledge, I think, not to drink alcohol, I don't know, till you're an adult. Nobody pays attention to it. People are after drinking before they're after taking this pledge. But that was his big thing, was going around and getting people to abstain from alcohol. And there was a huge problem in the country with alcohol at the time. Like, there was nothing to do. The majority of men were just alcoholics coming home, beating their wives and kids. So it was badly needed. But Frederick Douglass was a good friend of Ireland as well, and for the Mathew. He came over here a few times, a few famous speeches in Limerick. He took the pledge off for the Mathew. I need to jump back to my other one now, I think. But they had a falling out. Here's a little article on this. I have all this link down below. But the gist of their falling out was, and I think this is a disgrace, I think future generations of people from Cork and that city will tear down that statue. So Frederick was over here, everything hunky-dory, they met up, he gave great speeches. There was a famous letter from the Irish to the people who had just kind of gone over there from the famine. A letter that we need to unite with our black brothers and sisters, because they're looking for the same thing what we're looking for. They're looking for civil rights, and that's what we were looking for here. However, when Father Mathew was trying to raise money, he went over to the States. He was doing his thing, and Frederick wrote him a letter. All this is documented as well. He wrote him a letter and was like, hey, can you denounce slavery? You know, as you're over here, as you're talking to all those people. And Father Mathew said no. He said he only wants to concentrate on one thing. And Douglas was raging over it. And I love this sentence. This is a direct quote. He said he was grieved, humble, and mortified by what he did. So you have the Irish who are over here, failing, like big time, to support the blacks in America. But you also had the Irish who had gone over there, who failed a little bit. Like, we like to think, oh, we wrote a letter. There was a famous letter went over, so it was their fault, not us. It wasn't. It was both the people that were here and the people that went. Again, no one really likes to talk about this. If you hear Irish people talking about this, we talk about, oh, the signs like no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. We tried to put ourselves together, but we didn't. We could have done so much more. The phrase "to dig it" in black culture, that actually comes from an Irish word, an Irish verb, undigging to. And this happened when, like I was saying, people went over, we were working together in the low paid jobs. A lot of people only had Irish, so the Irish word for understand is undigging to. So, like, do you understand? And eventually that got shortened down to, do you dig it? And that's how that got into black culture and black rap. That word can be traced back to the Irish word when the Irish and the blacks were working together. And instead of uniting, instead of standing up with our black brothers and sisters, what did the Irish do? On the East Coast, they sold out. They became cops. A lot of them became racist cops. And that's where I'm talking now about kind of disappointment. So it's disappointing from the people who went over there, and it's also disappointing from the people who were here, like the likes of Father Mathew. Like, he was over there raising money, so obviously some of that money was coming from slave owners. So the cheek of him to refuse to denounce slavery. And this is a statue of him that's in the main street in Cork. People don't know about this. And I honestly think there'll be a future generation that will take that down. Can't come back from that. So that's my little history for you. From the 1840s. So don't anyone come at me about covering Michael Vaughan. He was fascinating, wasn't he, SS? He gave a speech in Limerick over here that was, he just attacked the crowd, but he was right. He was right in what he said. He was a great friend as well of the Quakers. Like, he'd come over here, and because we'd have the Catholics and the Protestants, but Frederick would stay with the Quakers, who did some great stuff. They really did. So can't wait. I went over it all at the start, Moonlight. There's been nothing really. Well, there has been something, but she's been found incompetent, Jeremy. She's that as well. So you should be able to see it up here. All the dates are pushed back till December. December 23rd is when she next will have a hearing. So hopefully she's been handed over to Department of Health. She'll get all her checks, like Laurie Vallow, and they'll be like, yeah, she's sane. She's sane to stand trial. She knew what she was doing. And that was it. I think that was back yesterday, and then the hearing today was about that. So it could go on a while. We've seen some of the delays with the Laurie Vallow case. It'll probably be very similar here, I'd say. But again, guys, the stuff that is after coming out that she said when they walked into that house, like, don't take any of that at face value at all. But it is also important to note that they had a search warrant before they started talking to her that day. So there's some other evidence that we don't know about. And I kind of wonder also if, because of some of the stuff that kind of hasn't gone on too much in this case, but I think JD Huff is pretty tuned in to the dangers of social media and YouTube and stuff like that. So my hope is if something is found, or if Michael is found, that there won't be like some major announcement that, oh, we have something here and all the media storming. I think it'll be done very quietly. I think they want to confirm, obviously, first before anything, and like tell the family, and then maybe a press conference the next day or something like that. But like I promise you, JD Huff he'll rip up the whole street if he has to. If he has evidence that takes him there, he'll tear her up. Stacey is still in. He's been in since May, and a lot of the court documents there are sealed, so we're not too sure, Tracker. But again, the search warrant for the house, there's a good reason why they turned up there that day. Yeah. Can you imagine not knowing? Yes, I actually have that on the back of my Why did I remove that? I'll just remove myself there for 2 seconds, you'll see. He'll get justice, all right. But it's just going to be a tough few weeks. And if I'm right about anything being found that they'd have to test, like that will add on another couple of weeks. It could feel like, I think in this case you might get the feeling that nothing is happening, and then all of a sudden something will happen, and it will seem kind of very fast, kind of like Lelani there. That kind of caught everyone tonight, didn't it? But in reality, that could have happened a few weeks back. So that's it, guys. That was my little history and a little update on that. There's not much, and there's a lot of stuff I could go into, but I don't want to talk about them right now because it's just so sensitive and up in the air. Same with Delphi. It's different when these cases feel cold, but when you have people being dragged through court, and it just feels a bit different. I just want to be a bit more careful. I've loads of stuff I want to talk about in this case and the Delphi case, but just holding back a little bit. One thing I will one thing I will say is the news report from the neighbour about mentioning the scooter. I did find that interesting. Michael had on flip-flops, so that'd be very difficult, I think. And if you're going to grab a child, there's a chance the flip-flops will come off, or why would you take the scooter as well? I was looking to see was there hills, because in my own kind of neighbourhood when we were growing up, we used to look for hills to fly down on bikes, or we used to actually pour water down it in the winter and it would freeze, and then we'd slide down it on the ice and knock out our teeth. But there doesn't seem to be something like that going on. It did cross my mind also, and I didn't hear other people saying this, and I checked, I can't find anyone else in the area, but it came into my mind. I was like, geez, what if the scooter is unrelated to Michael and related to someone else? What if there's the possibility that there could be two kids there, you know? Which is frightening. But I don't think that's the case. I searched all over looking, I couldn't find anything. But I think they did brilliant if it is related to hold that back, because I knew nothing about that. I know I seen one person pull up an old Facebook post trying to say, oh, I remember this. They don't. There was no one knew about that. It's the same in Delphi. People be like, I think I remember Richard. It's like, no, you don't. Like, he was never on the scene. Yeah. Do you know what? I'll just download. Can I play it here? I'm just going to download one video here in the background now as well. If I can find it. Oh no, it's gone. It was that Bring Monkey Home video. I'm sure you've all seen it. The little short one with the poem. Guys, I'm going to keep it there because I'm going to keep it under an hour. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the little history. And I have the links that I used, or anything I showed you, is all on the last page of, and I didn't even share it. Give me 2 seconds. It's in the chat now. It's the usual, a Google Doc. You'll find it all there. And I'll keep it there. We'll keep it under the hour. Thanks very much for joining. I know you all had some breaking news happening at the same time, but we had to slot it in for 10 o'clock, so I'll keep it there. Thanks very much, Randy, for coming in and chatting. I hope your sister is making some more of that stew for you. A can of Guinness, that's the secret if you want some good stew. I know it sounds mad, but throw in a can of Guinness just when you're frying the beef. It's gorgeous. And we know you took the soup, so we know you like your food. Right. I'm going to go, guys. Thanks very much for coming in. Keep me company. Hopefully, by next Monday, we'll have Monkey home. Good luck. God bless. I hope everyone has a nice evening.